everyone and welcome to the new lecture on graphical user interface programming in Python. If you have checked the previous lecture, in that lecture we have discussed the text component in the program, and the text component is basically used to accept multiple line of text from the user, and we do have an entry component which is used to accept a single line of text from the user. In that lecture, in the previous lecture, I have also told that in order to scroll through the text component, when the content of the text component goes beyond the height of the text component, we need to scroll manually through the text component to check the content which are going beyond the height of the text component. For example, if you are going below, for checking the content which are above, we need to scroll up, and for similarly if we need to check the content which are down, we have to scroll down. But for that we are using the mouse, but instead of using a mouse we can add or attach a scroll bar to our text component. So using that scroll bar, we can scroll through the text component. So it's a better practice that instead of relying upon the facility given by the operating system, we need to add all the component manually so that the user get all the facilities in our graphical user interface. The user don't have to rely upon the facility given by the operating system. So in this example I am going to discuss the scroll bar component. This would be a short lecture because this is just a continuation of the previous lecture. So if we look on to the example which we have taken in the previous lecture, that is in this example we have already created everything. We have a label, we have a text component, we have two buttons which are used to display the content of the text component into the label, and there is a clear button which is used to clear everything from the text component. Just run the program and check the components. If you check, this is the label at the top. Basically this label has been added so that when we click on this display button, whatever is present in the text component will be displayed here on the label. Whereas we do have a clear button here, and this clear button is basically used when we click on this clear button, whatever content which is present in the text component will be deleted from the text component. So this was the example which we have taken in the previous lecture when we are explaining the text component. Now what we are going to do is, in this very same example we are simply going to add a scroll bar on the right side of this screen, so that when we are exceeding the text visible area, that is, this is the visibility, and if I go beyond, if I keep on adding the value which is going beyond this horizontal size, we can use this scroll bar to scroll up and down in the text area. So what we are going to create a scroll bar, then we are going to bind that scroll bar with the text component, and then we are going to implement the text component. So let's have the example. So what we are going to do, in this same example we are going to create a scroll bar. Let's name the scroll bar as SB, and TK is the tick enter module, and we are going to create the scroll bar simply, and no need to give window. By default everything is added to the window. So scroll bar is created with the name SB. If you check, we can increase the size of the code so its visibility is better. So this is the scroll bar which we have created. A very simple function, simple scroll bar function is used, and the name of the scroll bar is SB. Now what we have to do is, in this text component there is a text component with the name TC, and we are going to add our scroll bar into this particular text component. For that what we have to do is, we have to add one more argument to this particular text component, and that is y scroll command. Okay, and you have to pass sb.set. Basically this sb.set will, SB is the name of the, just let me take this down so that it's visible. This is the name of the scroll bar. What we have added, y scroll command. Y scroll command, basically y is the vertical. We need to add a vertical scroll bar to this text component. So we have first created the scroll bar with the name SB, and in the text component where we are creating the text component, we have added an argument known as y scroll command, and we have added that scroll bar sb dot set. Basically set function or set property of this scroll bar will set this scroll bar with our text component. So we have added the scroll bar with the text component. Now what we are going to do is we are going to use this scroll bar. For using the scroll bar, we have to add one more command, and that command will be, okay, we haven't added the scroll bar with our window, so let's first pack it with the, and it's very important that when we pack the scroll bar, we need to decide which side the scroll bar should appear. We want the scroll bar, it's a vertical scroll bar, so generally the scroll bar, vertical scroll bar is attached on the right side. So I will give it a side as right, and one more thing, I want the scroll bar to be filling the entire vertical space. So what I'll do is fill Y. Basically fill Y will make the scroll bar visible throughout the vertical space available in the window. So what we have done is we have added the scroll bar after creating it on the right side of the window, and fill Y will ensure that the scroll bar is attached or is filling the entire vertical space available in the window. And here we have added that scroll bar with our text command, text component. And lastly we have to do one more thing, and that is we need to configure our scroll bar so that it work in the vertical direction of our text component. And for that we need to pass command equal to the name of our text component is tc dot view y. View y means it will be y view, y view, so that it works on the vertical view of the text component. So this is the last thing we have to configure. First we will create the scroll bar. After creating, we will add that scroll bar or attach the scroll bar with our text component, and at the last we will configure our scroll bar saying that it will decide the vertical view of our text component. Now after this, let's run the program and check whether the scroll bar has been attached and visible. So if I run our program, now let's remove this. If you check that there is a scroll bar which is visible on the very right side of the window, if you can check, and that will be better visible if I add and go beyond the, now please check, this is the scroll bar which is on the right side of the text area. Now using this scroll bar we can easily scroll through the text area. Even the arrow button on the top and bottom of the scroll bar could be used to scroll through the text component. So I hope this is clear to everyone. This is a very simple example where we have added a scroll bar to our text component, so that using that scroll bar we can easily scroll through the text component. And for that, just quickly recall it, how to create the scroll bar. Very simple. Our tkinter module do have scroll bar function. Using the scroll bar function we create the scroll bar, then we packed it or attach it with the window, but while attaching it we decided the side that the vertical scroll bar should be on the right side. Fill Y will ensure that it fills the vertical space, it is visible properly. And then we have attached that scroll bar with our component with which we are going to use it. And in this example it is the text component tc, and how have we added it? Y scroll command is equal to sb dot set, where sb is the name of the scroll bar. Set function will apply or set it with the text component. And at the end we need to configure the scroll bar with the command argument stating that it will decide the y view of the text component, which is the vertical view. So this is how we add a scroll bar to the text component. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching this video, and please give your valuable feedback after watching the video in the comment section, and please do subscribe my channel if you're watching it on YouTube, and please follow my channel if you're watching this video on my Facebook page, because that is of great support so that I keep on posting such lectures on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you at the last again.